kids, it is Mr. Smiley here from Terps Win B1G, giving you another war recap against a clan called OmniMutiny. As you can see, it was a 20 versus 20 war. We managed to get 58 out of the 40 stars. With about 25 of our 40 attacks, I think we had gotten to 58 or pretty close. We cleared all of the 9s and all except for the top 2 Town Hall 10s. Just an amazing, terrific job by the whole clan to just destroy these guys. So I wanted to focus on 3 of the attacks here. It's kind of funny when you look back at where we were 6 to 8 weeks ago, especially me. It's really anti-laloon. We just couldn't do loons well, and so we, as a clan, we decided that we would focus on hog attacks. Then we decided we started looking at the QQLL attack, where you do the earthquake and all the spells on the kill squad, and then the hounds and the loons are more of a back end thing. And for whatever reason, not only did that attack work for us, but now laloon attacks of all kinds are just, it's like we're seeing them. You know, we see the loon pathing, we know how to do it. As a clan, we've just progressed so far in the last couple months with laloon attacks. So here we have 3 different variations of laloon attacks. I'm going to show another one of mine. It's a little bit similar to the other Town Hall 10 3 stars and near 3 stars that we've been looking at. Fortunately for this one, it's a pretty common base. I've used this base. I think all of the 10s in our clan have used this base at one time or another. We've seen this style base. It's a ring base that has golem traps in the corner. There I go again. Fortunately, there was almost an hour long video by the Crushed Groove on his channel that's teaching Town Hall 10s how to 3-star that I watched a couple times on a base almost exactly like this. So he did an awesome job of just laying out a blueprint for me, and then I could just follow the blueprint, tweak it a little bit based on, you know, what of this base was a little bit different than the base that I was looking at. But for the most part, it's a pretty similar attack. So I'm going to use a queen walk because I feel like that's my best shot at 3 stars on any Town Hall 10 if I can do it. And here the air defenses are over by the edge, so I'm going to look for a laloon. The loon looks like it's probably going to be more viable against this base than the mass witch. So I can get this air defense is within 3 areas of the outside here. I'm going to drop my queen and some healers up here. This is not a max Town Hall 10, so we're looking at max Town Hall 9 defenses, so I can get by with 4 healers instead of 5. So I'm going to start the queen walk. She's going to go up here and then decide there's really nothing that draws her further down here, so she's just going to enter into the base and she's going to take out this king also. On the other side, I can take out both this air defense and the queen here pretty easily. Again, this is not the strongest Town Hall 10, so I felt like I could get by with just a giant and not a golem and giant in the clan castle, and just a giant and some wall breakers bust open here. Just easy access to a pretty low level queen and the air defense here. Rage the Burger King, and he just destroys a little portion here. If I would have used a golem, I probably could have gotten a slightly bigger chunk of the base, but I felt like I really wanted to focus on the air portion of the base. So like the version that the Crushed Groove showed in his 3-star attack, unlike many laloon attacks where you're going to separate the base in half and try to take both air defenses on the same side, this one, as he showed in his attack, leaves this one up and this one up, and then really your hounds and your loons are just going to float in a huge pack across the middle of the base. So he gave me the blueprint for that, and it worked out pretty well, or beautifully, if I do say so myself. So we're going to take out this air defense up here with the queen walk. We're going to take out this air defense and the archer queen with the Burger King attack, and then that really leaves us one side or the other. I'm not sure it really made that big of a difference which one to go. You have blowers on both. But I'm going to send a clan castle hound up through here. That's going to trigger the blower. And then I'm going to send another hound here and another hound here. Try to catch them at different times so they don't gather and have the bombs pop at all. I mean, all at once. But they get to that one ear defense. I'm going to carry 3 haste, pop 1 haste here. I'm going to send some loons over here to try to take out the defenses that the queen wasn't able to. So I'm going to send those. I can take a look at the pathing and see that they're probably going to, there's a chance that they're going to head over here to this archer tower and around here. So I kept about 5 loons in reserve, and after I see which way that first group of loons up here are going to go, then I drop them through here. And that's why having a higher level haste becomes important, because you can adjust on the fly. So my haste is still sitting there by the time I need to send in the second row of loons. You have some more loons coming over here, and then just a very, very, as the loons come over, I've used 2 of my hastes. I'm going to drop a rage here to try to take out the first inferno. Drop an inferno here to wait while they get there over the inferno and the crossbow. Then, as the loon pack starts to converge over the middle, I'm going to drop another rage. I'm doing this out of order because I actually did the freezes first. So I'm going to drop the freeze here to get those to keep my loons over here on this side safe. And then I'm going to drop the freeze there and then drop the rage right over the core. The hounds are starting to go over to this last air defense. Once the hounds get over to the last defense, I have, I think, 5 loons that I'm just going to start sprinkling over here and here and here. And over here, I think I dropped 2 to try to catch the blower and then the cannon. So I know I'm bad at math because I think I only have 5 loons, but I put a lot more numbers there. So I do have an extra haste that I didn't really need, so I dropped that. Mr. Clicky's not working here. Anyway, so I dropped that haste over the middle, over by... There we go. Anyway, I dropped the haste over by the last air defense, and it just kind of sits there, and it does help my loons go backwards over to that mortar by the Burger King, but at that point, it's really just an extra haste, and it's a cleanup at that point. So let's go ahead and let's watch the attack. Let's see. Now we're going to watch the attack. Obviously, my laloon skills have improved a lot further and faster than my ability to use the telestrator or whatever it's called. So there we have the queen going to work at the top, the king and a giant. Giant's pretty much just a sacrifice to distract the defenses so I can get the wall breakers up. Pop the rage. I think I knew at that point that there was a hound in the clan castle from a scout attack. So there, we're just sending in the hounds on the corner over there. They catch the inferno. Just be patient. Drop a freeze. Drop a haste to get everything in there a little bit quicker. Counteract the blower, and then get the loon pack over. Like I said, the delayed action there. Once you see which way, and it's whether it's loons or giants. A lot of times you never know which way they're going to break, so you release them in bursts. Float over the middle, just that rage over the core just destroys everything. Not really losing that many loons. All the hounds are down with lots of pups at this point, but there really is not much risk of the 3-star not succeeding. The defensive hound floats over my queen and pops, requiring her to kind of backtrack and take her out of the attack. But at this point, and there's so many pups, all the defenses are gone. I drop a minion over in the left-hand corner on 9 o'clock. I think I have an archer somewhere that I dropped, and there she is. And about 5 o'clock runs over and just eats a giant bomb. The queen really not doing all that much other than just tanking for some defenses, taking out the air defense, and then helping a little bit with the cleanup. But at this point, there's so many loons and pups that really not relying that So second attack we have here is a kind of a hybrid GoVaLaLoon attack by Terps01. Pretty creative attack. Crazy Dude had a similar style attack in the last war. Uh, but basically, he's going to come in. He sees that that there are 4 air defenses clustered in the core. That tells him, look, that's an awesome GoValo. He could have come in straight through the bottom and tried to take that, but I think he was probably pretty correctly worried about the Valk just running through these channels and then not getting into the core for those last air defenses. So instead of doing a traditional GoValo, which he's also really good at and is basically mastered, he tried another variation here where he's going to focus on this. There we go. He's going to focus on going. Let's see if this will work. All right, so he's going to focus on coming in here, taking out 1 air defense on the way to the queen. And he does have the risk here that everything's going to run through this channel, but at this point they're going to get blocked here and they're probably just going to hop into the core where he can take out this air defense and this air defense. And at this point, maybe the Archer Queen will take out this one over here, maybe not. But in order to anticipate not taking out that air defense, which would have killed a traditional GoValo, he's going to bring in a Hound. And he's going to bring in a Hound here. There's a bit of a risk that it's not going to pop and be a waste. At the same time, with all these loons coming in, if he sends it in early enough, it'll pop. Even if it doesn't pop, then it's still shielding. It's going to draw this crossbow. It's going to draw the blower here. Maybe this blower here. It's going to draw Archer Tower, Wizard Tower, and maybe this one too. That's just going to tank for all the rest of his loons that are coming from all angles. So it's not a complete waste, even if it doesn't pop. But it definitely guards against not taking out one of the 4 air defenses, which would have almost certainly killed his raid. So let's take a look at this. Let's see. Any day. Yep. Run to safety, little villagers. There we got up in the north, a loon taking out that cannon as a 1-for-1. That's a pretty nice trade. Send in the hog to make sure, because there are also loons in the clan castle. So if he had only sent the loon, then those loons would have still been in the clan castle. They would not have been triggered and brought out. And a loon can 1 or 2 shot a Valkyrie pack that's not under heal. Even under heal, it can be kind of dicey, so it's pretty critical that he gets those loons out of the way. Probably could have dropped the poison a little bit better, but he's going to bring those back over to the south where he launches his golem, spreads the wizards. Not a huge number of wizards, but he's patient in making sure that the wizards take out all of the surrounding area here so that he can drop the Valk, and they're going to go straight into that jump. And usually on Valk attacks, if possible, you do want either an Earthquake or a jump. Earthquake aren't essential, but Valkyrie will take every opportunity to just run the opposite way. So here, unfortunately, the Archer Queen doesn't get in there. If the Archer Queen had taken the jump, she would have been a good candidate to take out that air defense. But since the Archer Queen strayed, there you see the Valkyrie in the core under the heel, just running around, popping buildings. Stuff just vanishes like a mole goes under the air defense and collapses it. There's the Hound coming in. On the other side, there's nothing that can possibly take out the loons, so that Hound does a good job of tanking for the Tesla, it tanks for the Wizard Tower, tanks for the air defense. There, everything just boom. Up at the top, loons are just floating over. At this point, there's a minute left. There's 1 mortar. Everything's kind of converging there. Takes it out. Still gets a pretty nice spread on the loons. A lot of times loons can clump and you don't get a good cleanup, but on this one, his timing on the release was excellent, and he just destroys this base. He's just been Terps01 has just been killing it with the GoVaLoLoon. So, proud member of the Illuminati, showing off his skills with another 3-star raid on one of the top Town Hall 10s here. So for the last one here, again, we used to suck at Laloon, all of us. But here, Rob has not only, I'm not sure whether he ever did the QQLL earthquake versions or whether he just went straight to the shattered Laloon. So here we're going to have a traditional shattered Laloon with the jump and some rages. Let me get Mr. Clicky working on the telestrator, or whatever you call it. There we go. Let's see if that works. All right, so this base, is a pretty standard base you see a lot of times. Air defenses, I'm not sure whether this base usually has air defenses spread out this far. But so you got, let's see, you got one air defense up here, one here with the Archer Queen, one over here. I mean, really, these are so close to the edge that a stiff breeze could just blow them over. So other than the air defenses, you have a blower here, you have a blower here, here's the clan castle here, which he's going to take out, I think, with a couple hogs. And then he's just going to come through here with his golem. I think he has a golem in the clan castle, so it's really looks like it's a cold-blooded Laloon where he just can take out 2 of the air defenses with only 1 golem kill squad, pops a jump here, takes out these 2. That's half the air defense is gone for a pretty small trade. And then really, these 2 air defenses here, he's going to take out with hounds and loons, but there's so much of the base that is not going to necessarily stay tanked once, these hounds will tank for the loons up until the point where the air defenses go down. And then the hounds will continue to float in here, assuming that they're not popped. But you run the risk that you're, with so much of this the interior of this base that is not protected by air defenses, you run the risk that there's not going to be anything that pops the hounds, and you're going to fail because you're just too dominant. So Rob does a really good job of dropping rages, clearing the core out with his loon pack, and not really having to worry about his hounds not popping just because he is dominant with the rest of his attack. So why don't we take a look at his attack? There you go, a couple of hogs coming in. Didn't take out that air defense, but he brings out the loons, and the dragon drops a poison there. Just wait a couple seconds for those to go by. There we go. Golem at the corner, couple whiz, funnels. Waiting for, clearing the trash a bit. One goes back and kills the hut. Very patient, wants to make sure that his Burger King and his Archer Queen don't wander. There we go. The king just jumps over, takes out a storage. Queen shoots down one of the air defenses. King kills the queen along the way. Takes out another air defense. Still has more than half, but he's just going to rage it because he's impatient and wants to take out the blower. There you got 2 hounds from either direction just sweeping for mines, clearing the way for all those loons. They're going to just sit over there for a little while, pop a rage. Very, very patient. Nice loon drops there. He's going to drop the hound from really far away. Gives it time that the bombs that the other hounds have collected explode before that 3rd hound gets there. Drops, again, very patient on the loon drops because he wants to make sure that most, if not all, of his hounds pop by the time the loons get there. Success for a loon attack, it looks so easy when it's successful, but it's really all about timing and making sure that the loons arrive when you want them to, but not too soon and not too late. That crossbow in the center there catches the hound. Tries to pop it. Looks like all the air defenses go down, but he did get 2. All of the defenses go down without popping all the hounds. But so So a little bit off there, but at this point he has so many pups from the other hounds, and he has loons, and he has Gob Squad, has some extraneous giants that I'm not sure why they're there, but maybe he had intended to use them as part of the kill squad and just didn't need to. But anyway, they run around just popping stuff and cleaning up. So awesome job, Rob. Awesome job, 2001. Awesome job, me. Another victory for the Terps.